Uh-oh, what? Isn't that the one where the stem is messed up?
It is.
Will it even come out?
Aha! Got air in it still.
It's got quite a bit of air still in it.
What I'm trying to do, I gotta pop the bead because there's aluminum here that's wedged in. So I think if I pop the bead, maybe I can clean the busted part of the rim up some and reseat it and maybe put this wheel back on for now. That way we actually have a spare again.
It looks way worse from this angle.
Yes. Well, it's not great. So it didn't have a lot of pressure, but it had some.
It had a lot more than what I expected.
Do you still have your Jeep key?
It's in it, yeah.
Let's try that.
So we got a bead breaker for 15s.
Yeah, it's an old.
So like
stock
the 92.
Yeah. Actually, that's 16.
Oh, is it? Do we have anything that's a 50? Wait, are the Camaros 15s? Obviously the 83 isn't.
The IROC rims are 15.
So we have 15s, but they're not on any vehicle. So we're gonna try to use my Jeep to pop the bead. If not, it's the Power Wagon. You're just gonna flip the tire. Keep coming. Go that way more.
I don't want to be on the rim.
You're not gonna be on the rim. There you go. Oh, it wants to. Got it.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I know.
See how it's pushed in?
Man.
This got smashed down a lot right here. You can kind of see it from where you're at, I'm sure. It's pretty bad. So I need to get this pulled up some. I'm gonna try to pull it, but it's aluminum. So it's probably gonna snap off. But I'm not really worried about damaging the rim anymore because it's already ruined.
Pretty much.
My goal is to do it without taking the tire completely off the bead, even though we already got most of it done at this point. But I don't want to have to use a couple pry bars and spray it to get it back over the rim. So I'm just gonna try this method, see if I can't do this. If this is a steel wheel,
We
right
just
now,
beat it back.
I could bend it back some and then beat it, but it's aluminum, so I can't really do that. So I don't even know if I can get enough bite to actually do this or not.
Sounded like it broke.
Yeah, something just broke. Well, that might be detrimental right there.
Yeah, it's just gonna crumble apart like hard cheese.
Yep. So I'm gonna get a screwdriver. There's some mud built up in there. I got a little sharp spot I'm going to try to take off there. I'm going to use the vice grips basically as a file. Try to round that off so it's not so sharp. Alright, I don't have any sharp spots now. Chance of this holding air, oh, about 10%. Be dumb not to at least try. Alright, so I'm going to air it up. Looks like it should go pretty easy. I do not have the valve core in it, so I can get more air. That's airing up easy. I'll let it pop the bead on. I'm going to wash my face though, just in case. Get it set up where it's got a good amount of air.
It's from the hose,
yeah.
not this.
Like
20?
30 right now, according to this. I'm gonna give it a little more and we'll just spray it. Okay. That would be a leak.
Yep. See all those bigger bubbles? That's a leak.
Yep. Yep, so it didn't work.
It's a very small leak.
Yeah, well, still.
But yeah.
It's a leak where you're still airing the tire up.
Yep.
Obviously, we have a rim failure. I tried doing, cleaning it up a little bit. It's too deep in. It's almost all the way to the end of the tire itself. So I was pretty sure we were going to be, in trouble. But if you look at the actual rim, you got all this rash all around it, right? And then here's the rims that aren't even, these still hold air. But look here. Boom, big old one right there. Okay. Now I don't aim for rocks, but when you air down, your tire flexes more, which does allow your rim to get into it. You see how these tires even have the extra, piece sticking off. They call it a rim garter, I think is what they call it. But you're still susceptible to smashing them. Now, on a beadlock rim, you can see we still get into them all the time. For sure. This is actually one of the
I was going to say, that's one of the nicer ones.
Moving on. We don't want that one either. Nope. One of these is really bad.
I think it's that front one.
Maybe it's this one.
Well, look, I got freaking...
Yeah, so you can see here, you got a big gash here sticking off. You got all these areas where you've smashed rocks. You got the bolts sticking out that are all chewed up, The rim's good. I could order new ring. After these get beat up enough, I can just order a new ring. Mm-hmm. Now, some rims offer, instead of running a beadlock style, they offer a rock ring as well.
They call them rock rashes.
Yeah, a rock ring, and so you can bolt it on there. Instead of actually having a beadlock, it's just like an extra piece of metal that protects the outer edge of your rim. That's a big advantage to beadlocks. Yes, they're heavier, but if I had beadlocks on that and I managed to smash the ring that bad and it wouldn't seal, I could order a ring. What, yeah. $30?
Maybe 50 depending on the name.
Well, I guess that rim is probably, what, $250?
Yeah. Well, but these rings were $45 a piece.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying the rim
that
is ruined is $250.
Correct.
Compared to a $50 ring. So,
Yeah, beadlocks cost more up front.
And they're heavier.
And they are, well, especially those, because they're what they call dual tech. I can run them as a regular, I did run them as a regular wheel when we first got the 35s.
Yep. But that's one big advantage to beadlocks. Then also, this did pop off the bead without too much fuss, but
You don't have to do all that with beadlocks. You
Yeah,
just take the ring off.
you just let all the air out and you just go through and take the bolts out and it just falls off. So,
Yeah.
minus the inside. You still gotta pop the inside.
Unless you got a dual beadlock or a true beadlock.
Well, a double, no. Nobody does. So,
Racers still do.
not really. You'd be hard pressed to find people unless they're running Hutchinson's. And that's still like a,
They're like a $900 a wheel now.
but
They're super light though.
yeah. That's a big advantage to a beadlock versus non-beadlock, because this was just, it was just a muddy hill and I had to keep momentum. And as I was keeping momentum, apparently there was something in there and smacked it real good.
This is also why when we map, sometimes we will walk trails so we know what is in the dirt or the mud and if it's going to cause damage and stuff.
Yeah. Either way, it's the cost of playing. But, and the other thing too about these rims, I don't really like the offset. They need to stick out a little further. Not that I wanted to throw more mud on the Jeep, but,
Turning radius.
well, and these rub. The offset's not very good on the front, so they rub when I turn. If I go sharp and I'm flexed.
You still have spacers on and they still rub. I mean, you can see it on the inner fenders.
That's because this is a sport and they don't put good axles on these sports. They make them narrower for some unbeknownst reason to man. Instead of keeping the same axle width, they decided to make them narrower. Whatever.
Because you're not supposed to wheel a sport. You're supposed to pay the $10,000-$15,000 more to get a Rubicon to wheel.
Yeah, but then you can't wheel the Rubicon because the sensor goes out and then you can't use four-wheel drive. I can use four-wheel drive all the time. But, oh well. So this is gonna go get kicked over in the corner.
With all the rest of the wheels and tires.
So this will not fit underneath the Jeep, because the center bore on these wheels is actually not even correct anyways. Center bore for the beauty cap or whatever you want to call it
The wheel cap.
is only like 1 5/8. The piece that passes through underneath to hold the wheel up is 2 1/4. Don't fit.
Hey,
The math don't math. So I can't even put that underneath here.
so to
So
carry it as a spare in case we completely ruin another one, it's got to be in the bed.
Yeah, well, if I blew a sidewall out or something.
Yeah.
This,
It's still good.
it leaks.
Yeah.
Obviously, but this has a tire pressure sensor in it. You can run down the road with it, right? You're gonna have to air it up.
Yep.
But if you have a sidewall failure on another tire, this would be amazing. This would be a saving grace. You're not gonna go to Walmart and buy a 37 very easily. You know what I mean? You're kind of looking for that special spot, special place that has a 37 tire to put onto your rim. So
And that's assuming they'd put the wheel on correctly. Because a lot of places don't put them on correctly
at
anyway.
that point, though, it don't matter. You just want a tire on there that holds air. You don't even need to balance it. Actually, you just need a tire. Go out there with screwdrivers, I guess. You know. But that's where we're at with that. So we don't have a spare at all because I don't have a spare rim. The spare rim is already being used. I really don't want to buy another one of these rims because I'm not really a fan of them. Now they have worked. I like the way they look. But I like how they got the valve cores in that raised area. I like that. That's a nice touch. But otherwise, nope, they're not working for me, so. Okay. So we're just gonna kick that up and.
Kick rocks!
All right. Okay, on to the next problem.